Yo. They say, ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about our Law Nation groove? The 2-1 Cowboys versus the Patriots. But we got some more added depths for the O-line for your mind. Speaking of mind, let's get it. One way or another.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
No doubt. Appreciate you, and you for jumping in. Come on. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation groove? Come on. Let's get it, baby. Brought to you by Law Nation from Law Nation Studios. As the room fill up, be sure to hit that like, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go. Come on. Yo. Shout out to you, James. Shout out to the HBOs, the SGs in the house. That share gang, gang, all day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Hey.
Let's go, man!
Let's go.
Let's go!
All right, appreciate y'all so much, man. Let me know if the audio's straight. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. The Cowboys, Jerry Wayne Jones, he spoke on a few things. We're going to go over some audio with that. I'm trying to move on from the cards, and I kind of told you guys a little fib. We're going to move on from the cards, but due to context, we're going to bring up the cards just a few more times in this particular episode. Granted, you see Billy Price down there, and he is a veteran guy that the Cowboys selected today, and they're going to add him to the practice squad. So practice squad, unite. Practice squad, let's go, let's get it. If you're live on my Facebook, let me know. I just need to make sure we're still live over there. Russell, Maxwell, I see you. Joe Chain, appreciate you. So, yeah, that let me know we're live like 95 over there. Appreciate y'all so much. And then a little later on tonight, I need for us to rally together. We will be on the Super Friends show a little later on tonight. We got that booked up for tonight, as well as me and Ash. We should do the Ash Wednesday again. So y'all stay tuned. Hit the notification bells, and basically that will be a back-to-back show. So rest up, get your nutrients in. Make sure you eat your oodles and noodles, whatever you need to get things going, and we will have a great time talking Cowboys, and then, of course, we'll talk NFC East. But me and Ash, we're going to talk about the previous week, and then we're going to talk about the future, And we ain't talking about future, but we talking about the future of the Cowboys, what we should do against the Patriots. Now, the Patriots, they are very crafty. In all thy way, they are very crafty. They picked up Will Grier. We already know Will Grier knows every signal that the Cowboys will try to present. So he could be the Trojan horse over there, or he could just be the enemy altogether. You know what I'm saying? Will, do something for me, man. Help a brother out, But also within the confines of this, ladies and gentlemen, the Cowboys are 2-1. The Cowboys do have their hiccups with this offensive line. For the life of me, I get it. The 4-letter, the 3-letter network, people who want to get the spotlight shine upon them, they're going to talk about the way the Cowboys performed, and they're going to leave out certain things. And even including most of us Cowboy fans, we're going to leave out that we're going to say, hey, no excuses. No excuses. I don't care if that car got 4 cylinders or in one firing, just only one firing, right? You still supposed to go 160 miles per hour, right? So it's just what it is. They don't contextualize the fact that, Terrence Steele was the only guy on that front five that played the 2 previous weeks. And I know it sounds very bad, right? Just like even though I look at Burrows. I really like Burrows. Everybody know Burrows one of the best passers of the ball. With his calf being all the way it is right now, Burrows don't look like Burrows. Burrows don't look like he's sharp. And if it wasn't for his defense and run game, they lose against the Rams. They have an 0-3 start, right? But those type of things are not contextualized over here when we have a little knick-knack, patty-whack, give your dog a bone. You know what I'm saying? That's not contextualized over here. It's just, hey, it don't matter. Get it done. That's just what it is, What's it? What you mean, Law? We the mighty Cowboys. Objectivity is the lane here. But no, it's really subjectivity over here. Come on, y'all know how that goes. Yes, indeed. Chris Davis, appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for jumping in. Carlson, appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping in. Cowboy Fun says we need Pitts. I think in order for the Cowboys to get Pitts, I think that, what's going to happen is it would require for the Falcons to lose a few more games, right? If they lose a few more games, then they'll do the fire sale, right? And that's the same question and conversational line should be for the Broncos. They lose a few more games, fire sale, right? They start getting rid of players and they say, all right, this is who we need in order to be better next season. Or if anybody can think of it, shoot, Atlanta, they could be on the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. They sit there and say, shoot, you put Caleb Williams with Bijan Robinson, shoot, they might want to hold on to him. You know what I'm saying? They might want to hold on to Kyle Pitts. So it could be one of those things, right? Broncos might be on the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. So it's all about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about making sure you're firing at the right time, so and not make it obviously, you know what I'm saying? They call it, shout out to Mike Fisher, I think he coined the phrase organic tanking, organically tanking, and that's just how some organizations will do. Cowboys Fun says red zone help. Let's go ahead and listen to Jerry Jones, man. Come on, Jerry, where you at? I'm looking for you. Looking for you, Jerry, so we can get this show going. And shout out to 105.3 The Fan. They had good old Jerry Jones. Got a sharp mind. He's in New York, and he was at the owners meeting. And before I hit play one more time, I got to say this. This is why the owners are always ahead of the players. Let me repeat. This is why the owners are always ahead of the players. Dr. Umar. Time. This is why the owners are ahead of the players. So that's just what it is. They are meeting while the players union, they sitting here thinking like, hey man, all is good. Man, let's prop up our feet. Let's kick back a little bit. They are already making decisions of how they going to screw the pooch, down the line. They're already making up concessions on how they should do X, Y, and Z. And the owners are very brilliant about this, They're on a whole different level. They probably went into this meeting and collected some checks on some hidden Illuminati betting type of stuff, allegedly. I got to put allegedly in there, So that's just what it is. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get this on the way.
We can do it.
Can y'all hear that?
Certainly we have the personnel to execute on it. We are bringing along by necessity, but we're still bringing them along for whatever the reason they're out there. At least 2, possibly 3 young offensive linemen that are really needed and going to help us as we move on down the road here. I think, though, that it's one that you'd like to put in the win column when we got out there. But I'm reminded that old stuff in this game of counting one is just ridiculous. That's not the reality. The reality is you kick it off, and within that time frame of the 60 minutes, that's a life within itself. and you can lose those. I don't care what kind of team you got out there. And I've been a part of world championship teams that
really?
Had lost significantly. And so, having said that, nothing surprised me. But I would tell you that I am very pleased with the prospects of going from here and what our potential is to correct some of the negatives you saw out there Sunday night, as well as really take advantage of some of the pluses we've got, some of the talent we've got, some of the things we're putting in on offense that we put in. I like the tempo. I like really the quarterback's understanding of where we're trying to go with this. So, long-winded answer, but I give it a thumbs up. Let's go.
All right, so he was talking about the youthful part of the offensive line, and of course you got growing pains with that. And now we look back at it. The questionable players this week is still Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Tyler Biotish. And that's why they went and added a Billy Price. One can argue that they probably looked at tape and said Brock Hoffman, although you didn't do X, Y, and Z, but there were a lot of things that you left out there on the table as far as alignment and assignments. And on top of that, it's just picking up the information and changing things on the fly. I think that the offensive line groups are always the most underrated positions on the field. I think that a lot of times people look at O-line and say, hey, man, it's okay. We don't need them until – well, look, they don't want them until they need them type of thing, right? I don't want it. You know, it's kind of like trying to force kids to drink water, right? I don't need it. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it. I don't want it. And your kidneys all screwed up. Now you want to drink water on the back end. You got kidney stones. Now you want to drink water, you know? So it's like that, you know. Not saying that, my kids have issues with it, but y'all know how it is, you know? So it's one of those things that a lot of people, even with water, they don't want it. They don't want it. No. And then they need it, you know. Then when you really get into the water, you realize, oh, water make my skin smooth. Make my hair grow. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, it flush out all of the toxins. Let me start drinking a little bit more water. It energized me, right? And that's what the rudiments of this offensive line. And now we look back at it. Shoo. Which will be more important now, a Mozzie or an offensive lineman, right? A Schoonmaker or an offensive lineman. Because now what we're doing is we're seeing the same issues. Tyron Smith. When we need you the most, you on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? And now that we want you, we can't even lean on you, you know? So now we got to look back at this. And I know it's only been 3 weeks so far, but we can't continue to have reservations, dog. We need for you to be present. Billy Price, I believe his name. If I misspelled his name in the chat, y'all let me know on the back end. That give us a bad game every year around this time. Arizona game remind me of the Denver game. So we seen this show before. They will be 6-2 going into the bye. This is for my guy Charlie G. Yeah. True that. Bad games, regardless. Every team or any team can have bad games. Cowboys can't because it's the end of the world, right? They're not going to go into multiple excerpts or conversational pieces talking about how bad the Broncos look, right? They're not finna talk about Lamar Jackson losing to a backup quarterback over there in Colts land, right? It's just going to be a situation and scenario that you just got to get used to it. Some of us, 6-1, that what Jay Lombardi said, you mean, you know what I'm saying? I feel you. 7-1 would be better as Jay Lombardi too. All right, so here's my thoughts with this. Some of us are so tired of just fighting with fans in these sort of things that as a small piece is so willing to say, hey, I wish we just drafted Paxton Lynch instead, right? I wish we drafted Jacoby Brissett or somebody, right? So that we would never have to go back and forth with these fans, and something that you can look for, and you can be looking over there and saying, man, that quarterback, man, hey, he was in the 4th round. Why we didn't get him, right? Some of us, you know what I'm saying? Because it seems as if, though, some people will not get it. Some people will think that, hey, the only reason why the Cowboys are where they at in a negative connotation is because of this dude for. Right? That's just how people are wired. But it is what it is. Let's go. Jay Lombardi says we started off 2-1 last year too. Yeah.
So, in the interest of reducing the turnovers from last year that Dak had, like, has that limited the impact that he has on the game by trying to throw it short? Have you handcuffed him a little bit?
Well, you added that about that little deal right at the end there. But my point is that the answer is yes. You have limited things that he used to be doing. You have limited that. But on the other hand, we have made what we are doing more doable for him. And so I think that offsets. That throw at the end of the game, that throw's intended for the very back of the end zone, high. It was low and it was in the middle, and of course you saw players all around it. My point is, we have answers. He has answers, and he has capability to make those kinds of plays when it's on the line in the future. So you say, boy, should you be worried about the ability to get it in a situation like that? You always are. Red zone is a challenge. But I think we will execute that play you saw at the end better next time. We've got a chance to. We've got the talent to.
All right, according to Calvin Watkins, CeeDee Lamb didn't practice today due to Veteran Day. CeeDee Lamb, we old enough to know that now CeeDee Lamb is a veteran, according to Calvin Watkins. You know, I really appreciate that. Around this time, of course, we didn't have any of those injuries that we are seeing now that we've seen last game. So according to Todd Archer now, it's good news right now. I guess I'm live during live updates of what's going on in practice. And it says Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin are all working the cords. And no sign of Tyron's knee. CeeDee Lamb may be getting a rest day, but we'll update later. As also no signs of DeMarcus Lawrence. So that just the information that's going on right now. And let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's listen to more of Jerry.
We've got the quarterback too. And so I'm not dismayed by that. I'm sorry we didn't do it that time, but I'm not dismayed.
Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones joining us here on 105 through the Fan. Jerry.
Before he asks this question here, we are the only team. Let me know if there's other teams that their general manager / owner do weekly shows like 2 to 3 times a week, and Jerry Jones do that. With that, there's cons and pros. The con part of it is that we hear that the quarterback got limitations put upon him, right? Like, God dog, dude, this quarterback. Think about how that sounds. You got a quarterback that's going into his 8th season. Yeah, we put limitations on him. We put a governor on him so he won't go beyond this point. He can go this fast, but we won't let him go this fast, right? God dog, you know, and that's just how that goes, and it sounds crass to me, right? Nevertheless, it is a situation that's true. 2 things could be true. You know, so that is another thing that we have to deal with when you start talking about owners talking, general managers talking, and you giving out information to the public, right? So people can decipher those things and getting things going the best way possible. So I would say this: the pass that was high, me, Boss Cowboy, Big Game James, and the OC, they went over that play. Yes. There's not a soul out here that can look at that play and say, hey, man, that was a good throw. No. Hit Tony Pollard on the flat, you still got 3 minutes. In Tom Brady world or Aaron Rodgers way back in the earlier 2011, 12s, and 13. Let me give somebody else. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. 3 minutes is the equivalent to 3 hours to those boys, right? Anything can pop off, right? So, yes, I do put that on Dak Prescott, by the way. Hit the man in the flat. Yes, the offensive line was porous. But we got to have a situation in a scenario that we got to call that out. And we got to have better play from him in these type of moments. Brought to you by whether it's the coaching staff, whether it's the play design, and also on the spot, yelling and spitting at the player for making those decisions. Let's listen to more what they have to say.
You know, when you talk about, there are going to be some natural limitations there in terms of what you're asking the quarterback to do. Is one of those just in how you're pushing the ball vertically? Because it doesn't seem like the vertical concepts are in there as much as it's been in recent years with Kellen Moore.
Well, it's not. I'd say it's not. That's fair. On the other hand, do we need to take advantage of Cook's speed vertically? Do we need to take advantage of Gallup's skills vertically, his ability to go up for the ball vertically? The answer is yes. And
let's pause right quick. Pause. We did the film analysis last night. Go check out the final word. What happened when we did the 7-step drops? Because in West Coast, your feet is married to the wide receivers' progressions and route depths, right? Schottenheimer already talked about that. So I think that we can talk about this because we pinning the tail on the donkey. And shout out to Bobby Belt. I know for sure he protects the quarterback at all costs, and he protects his team at all costs. And he's speaking in light of, because I think Bobby was on. Y'all let me know if Bobby Belt was team, hey, let's keep Kellen Moore. But I got to tell you guys what happened when we did those 7-step drops. I'm going to see who watched the film last night. What happened? When we did the 7-step drop and on those long stretch plays, what was given up? I'm going to see if anybody know the answer to the test, you know. See. Just say his number. You can put his number in the chat. You can put his name in the chat. We literally saw that. Now, we can literally say, hey, y'all, man, every team had those type of situations. Shoot. What round was T.J. Bass drafted? What draft pick Brock Hoffman came from, right? What team did Brock Hoffman came from, right? Oh, where did we pick up Chuma Edoga from, right? Oh, my goodness, man. Chuma literally almost got the quarterback killed on those 7-step drops. It was literally, hey, because what happened here, people will say, okay, gloss that over. But if you rewind the tape and look at what we've seen out there on the field, shoot, it's amazing that he got up. And he folded like a cheap chair. Yes, indeed. So what these are not. And I want people to understand these are absolute facts, undebatable facts, that when you look at the tape and you turn on the tape and you see exactly what happened when he did that 7-step drop, or even when they did the 5 steps. It was literally, I thought Drew Hill was coming in from eternity. 5 steps. That's exactly what happened, you know, because, hey, that is exactly what happened. You know, my poor temper singing Drew Hill and Cisco. Cisco should just never release the dragon. That's what happened. But I'm going to tell y'all that, man, it was a murder scene out there. But what happened here is when you got the quarterback that can evade and elude from those pressures, it doesn't be recorded on the actual tapes of the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder networks. It don't. Hey, Justin D, man, you are 1,000,000%. What happened to Awesome? Let's put Awesome Richardson, man. You know, if we're going to look that terrible out there at left tackle, throw the new fish in there. That fish making swim. So all I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, don't overreact. Don't overreact. But let's listen to what he had to say.
It's there. We can. the players can execute it. We know it's there. We'll have many situations where we'll take the time to do that, but the vertical game is alive and well with us. But
I do agree with Jay Lombardi. He says Chuma get it done. Yeah. Now Jay speaking in realness with that. Dang, I forgot about that part of it. Because remember last night we said it was going to be I'm gonna spell it out instead of saying it. It was a SHIT sandwich. Now, whether you have it all inside or you have it on the edges, that was the type of sandwich it was. Now, Chuma and how they protect young players, and we've seen this happening before. When you have a veteran guy, it's better to put the veteran out there first. And if he can't get it done, you pull him, it won't destroy his ego. Well, it will destroy his ego, but it wouldn't destroy his pride as much. If you put a rookie out there and he wet the bed, it can destroy him completely, right? So if you put Awesome out there as a rookie and he's not able to hold ground and he was the one that caused the quarterback to get hurt or what have you, then, he'd probably be ruined for his entire career. Yeah. Audio choppy on my end or can y'all hear me now? Audio late? Or is it on the app end? All right, so how we do that is go to Facebook. Facebook people, audio straight or audio out? Yeah. Loud and clear. So Facebook people said it's good. So it's a YouTube thing.
Make no mistake about it. We've got in between the vertical game and the running game, you've got quite a few things we're doing different out there.
Jerry, you've mentioned a little bit here some of the red zone stuff, and that's obviously been a frustrating point, I think, for everybody. Dak, Mike McCarthy, they've all talked about it. The receiving trio there of Gallup, Cooks, and Lamb, they don't have a single reception in the red zone this year. How do you go about repairing that? Is that a scheme point? Is that you need better execution? How do you go about getting the ball to your playmaking wide receivers?
Well, hopefully we'll get down there as many times as we have in the first 3 games, which we've been down there ample times to execute there. Now, we all know I saw it mentioned yesterday, when you get in that red zone, that's the defensive time. That's the defensive end of the action right there. They have the edge. You have a shorter field. So we all know it's every team has it. Do we have the players to get the ball in there? Unquestionably, we have the players. Can we execute better? Can we do that? You can imagine what a focus point it is for our team, and certainly after last weekend. And so do we have the ability to really correct and have a higher percentage of touchdowns in the red zone? Absolutely. Yes, we do. And the scheme that we have and the plays we're trying to run, all of that, if you could and did, you could walk out there and say, just give me every option we've got in the red zone. You'd sit down and you'd see and reconcile it with our personnel, and you'd like what you saw. Now we've got to get it done.
Jerry Jones, the Hall of Famer, brought to you by Ford, built for Texas, built for you, with a special Hump Day appearance here on Sean and RJ. Who's your left tackle?
Well, I think in a way of looking at it, we're in good shape to be this iffy. Tyron Smith is who you want to put his helmet on the board for right there. You can move Tyron Smith over there. We've got the two young players that can come in there, and their best position is left tackle. So as far as position flex or adjusting, I feel as good about left tackle as I do any spot on the team. It's what you do to the interior when you have to start making the second through the fourth of those adjustments.
You remember last night, me and the OC, and I said the OC won, so I didn't know that me and Jerry was thinking about, the fact that they didn't have big trust down inside. And they looked at this offensive line, whereas they didn't want to start the game off with Tyler Smith on the outside and have Chuma Edoga, although he did a great job the first 2 weeks, in there to the unknown, and we know the unknowns. There are.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns, things we don't know that we don't know.
And that was Brock Hoffman and TJ, right? So what they didn't want to do create is having your best two players on the outside, Terrence Steele at the right tackle and Tyler Smith at left tackle, and have a bunch of unknowns in the inside. It was going to be a SHI, sandwich regardless. So I would say this, ladies and gentlemen, that what Jerry Jones just admitted right now is that he felt more comfortable with Tyler Smith inside to help Brock Hoffman, and he felt comfortable with TJ and Terrence to the right side, which is okay. But he feels as if, though, the left tackle unit was the best, as far as Chuma Edoga and Awesome Richards, I guess that's going to be the left tackle. My thing is, if he looked back at tape, he wouldn't have uttered those words. And I get it. People from the outside looking in, they're going to say, yeah, Chuma played solid. No, he was getting his lunch handed to him, right? So it's one of those things, whereas if Tyron Smith is continuing to be yo-yo guy, like one day he's down, one day he's up, hey, 1 week he's down, 1 week he's up, continuity is everything with front five. That is the only unit that you do not want to just continue to move around like musical chairs. Rhythm is everything. These boys got to figure it out. So if Tyler Smith is going to be the foreseeable future, and if you foresee him being a left tackle, then go ahead, rip the Band-Aid off, make him the left tackle, and say, Tyler Smith, man, we don't like you at all. We love you. But at this point, until you can prove to me that you're healthy, you're going to be our swing, emergency, break glass in case, of emergency tackle. But we can't be preparing ourselves week in to week out to have this right here.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns, things we don't know that we don't know.
Yes, indeed. If your audio is cutting in and out, just try to reset your browser, clear your cache, because I got too many people saying that the audio is straight for them. All right? So if your audio is cutting in and out, clear your cache and then come back, unfortunately. But I don't hear nobody complaining on the Facebook side of it. So it could be a YouTube thing, and I really appreciate you guys.
It's what you have to do to take out the middle. That's bothersome. And so we're going to have that to do as we move forward all year. There is some help on the way with these young guys as far as them health-wise getting better. And we did, in my mind, we played the way that I don't know that I would ask for more from our young guys that played Sunday. They played well.
Jerry, did all those last-second changes up front affect what Mike could call offensively, and if so, how?
They sure did, and they will, always will. And those are the adjustments. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense. You lose key players at key spots, and you try to compensate for it another way. Does that leave you open for some mentals? can do that on both sides of the ball. That did on both sides of the ball Sunday.
I'm sure
Yes, you do. You did make adjustments, and they are there. Again, I emphasize on both sides of the ball.
Jerry Jones here on the Fan. Last week, we were complimenting it, praising it, and then it seemed like a step backwards in terms of the penalties. How maddening or frustrating was it to watch the amount of penalties that reared their ugly head?
Y'all think he's going to be able to give us a real honest answer? Let's listen to this, and then we jump into Patriots talk.
What's crazy is we knew walking in the game, we saw the crew that was out there, and and visiting with Mike before the game, we knew there were going to be a lot of penalties. Whew. We knew there were. This crew throws flags.
Man, they got to stop that. Jerry, shout out to you. I love that response from him. They got to stop that. There got to be a ruling committee. He should be in there saying, look, that particular crew need to get, suspended. They need to have the evaluations from somebody. And I'm putting this out there again. Just like we got PFF for grades or what have you for players, there need to be a PFF for the aficionados, right? Where we can see the grades on the players, where we can point them out, and they need to be subject to fines. They need to be subject to hearings, because they dealing with people emotions over here, man, and psyche. There need to be, and I know you can't sue the National Football League, but I need to figure out if we can sue the National Official Referee Committee. You know what I'm saying? For rigging the game. There was literally no offsides on Wanye. And I need to, as a paying customer of the NFL, I know it's for entertainment, I need a response from the aficionados to send us an apology, on their mistakes. When they make mistakes, we need to have the ability to call them out and to issue them warrants, subpoenas. We need to have that ability. They losing us money. They losing us passion. They losing us on these type of things. And it wasn't subjective. That wasn't subjective. Because we saw with our eyes, hey, man, ain't nobody offsides. I can give them a little bit on the pass interference. But there need to be a committee of folks that can reach out to the aficionados, since they are independent from the NFL, to have the ability to have a class action lawsuit.
And so they were going to be, but they'll throw them on both sides. And obviously. And so we knew that. Did that factor in? I don't know. All of those things are hovering there for you to think about. And there's no question the timeliness of those crews. I really don't know if a high flag game helps the lesser team. It very well could. It's like we've always assumed that bad inclement weather will help the lesser team. You've always assumed that and thought that. I don't know if it's the case or not on penalties, but certainly they were a factor out there. But they got theirs too.
No. What play? What play were the Cardinals hosed on it? They benefited, and I'm not saying that when we look back at this and we say, well, the only reason the Cards they beat us fair and square, they won. We're not saying that. All we want is a fair shot. We just want a fair game. Just like when you see a boxer and he's in the ring, and if the weight class is 160 pounds, then that's what we want to see. You don't want to see 160 and I'm 205 and we in the ring, and then all of a sudden they say, well, shoot, Law was able to absorb those hits, man. The other guy was 160. He's laid out like Family Guy. That's not a fair situation. Now, the 160 guy, he can still win. You got a puncher's chance. So what we're trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen, is that we just want to, look, we don't care about the political part of it. We just want to see a good game. We want to see a good entertainment out there. So when you see a guy going up for the ball and catching it, and someone hits him before he's able to catch it, call it fair and square. Or when you see a guy that's not offsides, right? Just call the doggone thing fair and square. Don't put yourself into it. Yeah, BD Gray, 160 versus 220 is bad news unless a 160-pound person is a trained fighter. Yes. And all we want to see a good fight. We don't want to see the 220 guy who's trained and the 160 guy who's trained and then say, hey, man, you know, it's going to be entertaining, but we already know what's going to be the outcome. But if the dude that's in the ring, if he's sitting there saying, all right, the guy that's 160, you get 3 punches, and the other guy only can get one at a time. You know, that won't be it. It's called, C. Hayes says it's called Vegas law. Yeah, but let me quit talking because, you know, they probably be the people that's messing up the audio for a few people. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. FBI, open up! Hey.
Jerry, you know, you've got the return of Ezekiel Elliott to AT&T Stadium this weekend. Just talk about the emotions of him returning. Do you guys plan to do anything to recognize him at all before the game?
Well, I don't want to blow a surprise, and that's a good enough answer for you.
Jerry, you know.
Well, one more on Zeke.
Yeah. Just one more. In terms of when we talk about some of the red zone struggles, do you think you guys have missed Zeke down there inside the 20 this year?
Well, Zeke's unique physicalness is always nice to have.
No doubt. Sebastian says this was the type of game that screams scripted. Yeah, it do. And then my guy Hotspot Casino, he was he was live with me when we went live or what have you. He was in the chat and he was saying, "Hey, this is rigged, Law. This is rigged. Watch what's going to happen." And I said, "Damn, I should have called Hotspot and said, hey, give me the lottery numbers while you at it. You know, all I need is a couple million, you know." But, yeah, he was right. He was right. He called it. He called it, and 100 grand called it. And both of those boys, I think they say that they deep into this parlays, gambling, and all of that good stuff. So
nice to have. Be tried about it. It is very good to have. We think of physical on short yardage and probably should. Mm-hmm. But I do not think that physicalness from the running back is contributing to us not getting in the end zone.
Jerry,
is not.
Jerry, your overall just thoughts on Zeke's tenure as a Cowboy and some of your fondest memories.
Well, my overall thoughts, Zeke did a wonderful job with us. I like to compare his career just like Edgerrin James' career. They both had the same amount of numbers. I think Zeke did more numbers, more yards than Edgerrin James in the same with less games. So Edgerrin James is a gold jacket guy. And, of course, you know, the Colts never won a Super Bowl with Edge, but you can see Peyton Manning benefited from having a guy like a Edgerrin James. And before Edgerrin James, he had Marshall Faulk for a cup of coffee over there. So I look at Zeke and what he can and can't do in the National Football League more on the positive aspect of it. I think that what holds Zeke more last year was the philosophy on how we ran with him. There was no usage levels of us utilizing him to the best abilities. And we saw that. The decline of Ezekiel Elliott, you look it up, it started in 2019. In 2019, we had a new play caller, and his name was Kellen Moore. And shout out to him. Shout out to both people, Kellen Moore and Zeke. I just think that the whole aspect of Zeke, if he was in this past game, we would have won type of thing, is crazy. Did y'all seen the last game? Now, granted, it was play calling too. In the last game, I'm talking about 49ers versus the Cowboys, and y'all saw what Zeke looked like in that game. And what I'm saying is we had better blockers then than what we had this past game, right? So this past game, like I said, we only had guys that was undrafted and guys that were journeymans, right? Brock Hoffman, Chuma Edoga, journeymans right there, So, and there's some people that got clips floating around on Twitter showing you guys. No matter if you had Jerome Bettis, you wasn't going to get those extra yards. It doesn't matter if you had Derrick Henry, you wasn't going to get those yards. Or how they blocked up front when they got down inside the red zone there. So the Cowboys got to go back and do some more soul searching and get this offensive line and stuff together, right? Could we won? Yeah. We still could have won that game. But as far as the philosophy and how we approached it, it would have been very, very difficult for us to do that with the run down inside, with the blocks up front. Now, as far as matchups, this is what I have here, ladies and gentlemen. We can clearly see yards, total yards. They average 356.3. Let me repeat, they average 356.3. Passing, they can throw the rock around. 249 to our 215. They pass more yards than us. Yards rushing, 107 to 147. Now, granted, Mac Jones had to pass the ball more because they was down a lot in games. But I had to sit back and throw out all of that other stuff because previously, this last game kind of sullied any idea of me talking like, yeah, man, we going to just go run through those boys. Y'all remember that? You know what I'm saying? Total yards a lot because I don't know what this defense is going to be like, I get it. We can go back and forth talking about the offense. But the defense, you want that to be solid, right? You want the defense to stay the same. All right? Chris 214, possible Zeke reunion next year. Depends on Rico, And it depends on Zeke. Zeke could have still been here. Let me see. Possible Zeke reunion next year. Okay, I see what you're saying. Possibly, put it like this. If Zeke, and I thank you for the super chat, Chris, if Zeke wanted to be here now, he would have still been here. But the money, he wanted $8 million. They let him test the market, and he came back. I guess he came back with what, $3-4 million? I don't blame him. Shoot, every player's a Ron Shazier hit away, and I ain't trying to make fun of the man's name, So get your bag, get your coins. So he went with, hey, let me see what the market is going to render. And he still got more than what I guess the Cowboys were willing to pay. And as far as his role, it's a whole different feeling, man, to be the lead dog for the team. Then all of a sudden you look back, somebody else and then they get more money than you. Say what you want, but pride is a major thing, and it's a realism thing, too. These players got egos, big-time egos. They do. But I'm not saying that Zeke is the type of person that say, hey, I'm only playing for the money, but he's wise. He ain't a fool. He lost more money than he could have made in Dallas. If Roger Goodell's didn't put his toe in the water, shoot, Zeke would have had a whole bunch of money. But Roger Goodell made it about him versus Jerry and suspended an innocent man who never been arrested. There's to this day, you don't have a mug shot of him. But that's a whole nother storyline. We don't want to dive too deep. I don't want the FBI, open up! Hey, they don't like truths over here. That's how you get banned in certain areas, But I would say this, though. The whole thing with Dalton Schultz, somebody said, hey, we would have been better if we had Dalton Schultz. Yes, veteran Dalton Schultz is better than Jake Ferguson. But Jake Ferguson is better than the young Dalton Schultz. What year? The second year Dalton Schultz couldn't hold Jake Ferguson's Gatorade, towel, jock, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hold his helmet. So we got to put those things in context. By the time Jake Ferguson is to the lane of Dalton Schultz, don't you know what he'll be able to do? Shoot. So what y'all can't do is, hey, man, he ain't doing it. Let's get rid of Jake Ferguson. Bring back Dalton Schultz. Don't y'all know Dalton Schultz was seeking $14.5 million? Instead of Taylor Swift with Travis Kelce, she will be with Dalton Schultz dancing, for that type of money, and she don't even need it. I heard she's a billionaire, by the way. But y'all let me know Taylor Swift top 5 songs so I can start listening to them, But it is what it is. And I don't blame the man for wanting, Dalton Schultz for wanting the bag. So the Jones family said, okay, well, we're going to let you test the market. All 32 teams passed them by and by. They passed them by. You're asking for too much money. And as the market turns, eventually, the Texans said, hey, we'll take you and we'll give you X, Y, and Z money. We would love to have you. We would embrace you. So that's just what it is. So you can't have it all, ladies and gentlemen. And 14.5, that's just the APY. We ain't talking about the guaranteed, etc. So this is what I'm saying. So we just have to wait. And for what I know, I don't know what Schultz is doing down there in Texans, land. It's just what it is. Those are the realities of it, And may he have a good career down there. But he's not light years ahead of the tight end rooms that we have right now. Give these young fish enough time to pick up this system and offense, right? That's just what I'm saying. Yes, indeed. So Schultz ain't doing nothing in Houston. Yeah, here's the value of a Cowboy player. And it goes like this. When they playing on a team, nobody really like them, right? But when they leave the team, everybody talk about how good and great they are. You know what I'm saying? And then if they make 1 or 2 plays on another team, hey, man, we should go get him. Look what he's doing over there. But when he was here, oh, man, I can't stand him. I can't stand him. That's just how every player that put on that uniform, everybody want to bring him back. I heard somebody making a declaration, hey, let's bring back Anthony Brown. Hey, man, he would have stopped that. He wouldn't have got blown deep like XYZ player last week. Come on, man. It is what it is. Now, I'm glad somebody asked me, who is Billy Price? Billy Price is a guy that he's a veteran guy. But he ain't no Tyler Biotish. He's a long in the tooth, a former first-round draft pick. And if you can see, he's a journeyman at this point of his career. And this is his 2022's information. 11 penalties. Woo! 5 sacks on Joe Burrows. You know what I'm saying? He allowed. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how much pressure he gave up. Yeah. Hits. Okay, 1 hit, 16 total pressures. Shoot. I look at this, when I look at 11 penalties from the let me see what Tyler Biotish, because, Tyler Biotish is one of those people that a lot of people, watch, he's going to pull up Zeke right here. We'll go over Zeke numbers in a few. But then put Tyler Biotish, Bigger Dish, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what Bigger Dish had last season. Bigger Dish. All right, I love seeing those zeros. All right, boom, let's go to 2022. He gave up 5 penalties, 0 columns. Hey, when you're giving up flags from the center part of it, that is literally, you can account for those 9 times out of 10 being sacks. That's what he was doing. He was like, well, I'd rather grab him and hold him instead of getting my quarterback killed. So you can literally look at those penalties, and I'm not finna go comb through all of the tape, but 9 times out of 10 it's a hold, right? To keep your quarterback upright and save him a little bit, grab him and hold him. So you can equate that to being 16 sacks. When you have your center giving up that many from the interior. Shoot. Or false stars, I guess, From the center, shoot. Snap infraction, yeah, I would say he probably had 1 or 2 of those. But 11 penalties, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully Billy can be that physicality. He can be a good playbook pick-upper guy, you know what I'm saying? And tell Brock Hoffman, hey, these are the things that you need to do as far as keeping your body in shape, your mind together. This is what I did to do X, Y, and Z. So I'm not finna throw the baby out with the bathwater. They brought him in for a reason, So let's see how he fits into this particular system. And maybe he could have learned from his wicked ways. I don't know. Red zones are for tight ends and fullback. What are we doing? This is from Glenn Capers. Here's what I wanted to say, too. Far as the tight end room. A new broom can sweep the floor good, but that old broom can get those corners. And sometimes when you have a lot of inexperienced guys as it relates to tight end, and I'm not saying that, hey, pay the $14.5 million for Dalton Schultz conversation. But this is a situation whereas we are seeing 2 things could be true. You got inexperienced guys who never been down inside of that red zone area that don't know how to work themselves in those small areas, right? That don't know how to, hey, I'm going to cut my route off a little bit here. Hey, I'm going to pin down a little bit stronger to have that extra block increase. Because when you start to think about it in this particular fashion with quarterbacks, the first thing that you can name with good quarterbacks to marry them up with is always that tight end. For my guy Troy, it was what's his name? Jay Novacek. For Roger Staubach, it was what was that kid name? Was it Butch Johnson? No, it wasn't Butch. Was it? Who was it? Y'all let me know. His name is the tip of my tongue. And then they went and got a guy from Arizona who was a legend there, you know what I'm saying, who dropped that, was it Jackie, dropped that sure touchdown pass. We could have had an extra Super Bowl. But what was his name? Y'all help me out. For Eli, it was a whole host of people, Jeremy Shock and all. Billy Joe Dupree, appreciate you. All right, so for Staubach, it was Billy Joe Dupree. And for Tom Brady, it was a host of tight ends, but primarily Gronkowski, right? Jackie Smith was the guy. Shout out to you, Willie T. I know somebody said, don't remind me. The problem was Jackie, he was just too wide open. That's what it was. It hit him right in between the numbers, man. He was like, hey, I'm so wide open, I don't know what to do with it. Give it back to you. Oh, man, some people still mad to this day. I wasn't alive at that time, But if you was alive, let me know. Did you go to sleep at that time? Mike Dicker, So, yeah, I can get all of that, right? So your tight end will always be the quarterback best friend. It will be, Peyton Manning had guys like Dallas Clark. Now somebody will say, hey, man, so that's why you should keep Dalton Schultz, Lord. Come on. That's what we said over here. Pay the $14.5 million. Pay him Travis Kelce money. For Pat Mahomes, it's Travis Kelce, by the way. Yes, indeed. So it is what it is. JRB says LVE is the worst player in life. And just so I won't be the person to pick on LVE all the time, let me see if I can find the people that they love LVE, but they picking on him a little bit. Let me see if I can get it right here. Hold on. Let me see if y'all can hear that audio. Here you go.
Big to him in the past, but I just can't help but notice plays like this. He has a perfect attempt to make a tackle for, if possibly a tackle for a loss, and at the very least maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain, and he just absolutely whiffs. He doesn't even whiff. Whiffing would at least be diving and trying to make a tackle. Instead, he just runs right by him. That's the reason they were picking up chunk yards. And then on the touchdown play, I just like to follow LVE here, and at this freeze frame, it definitely looks like LVE could dive and make the tackle. But instead, he does the sprinter finish and leans forward, doesn't dive, runs it out, and they score a touchdown. All right, so I just want to look at two plays from LVE. I hate to pick on LVE because I've been a kind of big to him in the past, but I just can't help but notice plays like this. He has a perfect attempt to make a tackle for, if possibly a tackle for a loss, and at the very least, maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain.
What was going on right here,
And he just absolutely whiffs.
Who's paying LVE, man? He got paid twice that day. Hey, man, shout out to Mama LVE. But who's paying him, man? He got to get an extra check on. Y'all talking about Vegas? How much Vegas paid LVE? Allegedly. You know, we got to throw allegedly in. I don't want to get sued around here. So what's going on with that, man? Those are two plays that cut us really deep. And if he is out there for New England without getting like suspended for at least a quarter, at least a half, then come on, man. Are they watching the same thing we watching? Is that by design? Who paid? LVE, you can talk to us, man. Who paid you, man? That's all we want to know. You know, we don't like this game. We love this game. No, I don't want to hear nobody say, man, Law is insinuating. So what else can we say off of this, man? Can y'all watch it one more time? Can we watch it one more time?
He doesn't even whiff. Whiffing would at least be diving and trying to make a tackle. Instead, he just runs right by him. That's the reason they were picking up chunk yards. And then on the touchdown play, I just like to follow LVE here, and
right there.
At this freeze frame, it definitely looks like LVE could dive and make the tackle. But instead, he does the sprinter finish and leans forward, doesn't dive, runs it out, and they score a touchdown.
Oh, my gosh, man. Between LVE and then, of course, Parsons has some hiccup plays on that RPO stuff. Come on, man. Who paying you, man? Just let us know, man. We just want to know, man. We want to get some of that money, too, you know. He says, Jay Recruit, I guess that's why he ain't going to let us know. We need Micah to step up his game as far as a run stopper and stop talking on social media. No more pouting on the sideline. Oh, my goodness, man. Hey, you right, bro. We all got our hats off to Michael Parsons. And the chatter for new age fans, like if you're born in like the late 90s, early 2000s, or if you're born in the 10s, y'all eat this stuff up. Yeah, Hey, man, y'all heard what Parsons said? That's good stuff, y'all, man. He talking about cheetah. You know what I'm saying? There's a baby Cub, and Cub talking about he's going to take an illegal hit on Parsons. Oh, man, that's good stuff. That's good for TV, man. Yay, 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 yay. I mean, I heard that. I'm gonna find that clip of what Tyreek Hill saying he going to take a cheap shot on Parsons, right? And we don't want to hear that. That's rules to throwing hands, right? So new age, you know, I guess we got new media. Then we got new fandoms, you know what I'm saying? Of we eat and we digest this stuff, and we sitting back here like old school stuff. Like, nah, man, I'm fighting, man. We don't want the hugs and kisses type of talk. You know what I'm saying? We want to cease everything. You know, if I'm coming into your house to cease everything, you don't supposed to be happy about it. I don't come in there smiling. Hey, I guess this is what Uncle Sam do. Oops. Hey, all right, you can have my 33 1/3% of my income. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? B. Wee says it's been a long time since we had a wolf hunter. LVE is holding us back. You know, I think that at this point, I think my guy Balls Cowboys said, you know, our voice matters, right? So we need to start the Devin Harper campaign. If you're going to look foolish, at least go 100 miles per hour. And Devin Harper at least goes 100 miles per hour. The only knock that you had on him is a few plays in preseason and coverage. Shoot, give me that. That's a 4-4 guy. Devin Harper is a 4.4 guy. We need that speed out there, man. LVE was playing like he accepted a bribe. Yes, indeed, Stelios. Like, who's his guy? People say, whose man is this? That's a new age said too. Whose man is this? You know what I'm saying? So whose man is this right here? You know, watch one more time.
All right, so I just want to look at 2 plays from LVE. I hate to pick on LVE because I've been a kind of big to him in the past, but I just can't help but notice plays like this. He has a perfect attempt to make a tackle for, if possibly a tackle for a loss.
Pause. Whose man is this right here? The play button is in the way, but you got a clear shot. You got a clear shot. You know, enemy spotted type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got a clear shot, headshot. You got a possible fine shot that you can hit him so hard. You know what I'm saying? You got a redemption shot. You know, you got a John Wick shot. You know what I'm saying? You got anything that you want to. Riggs! I'm too old for this shot. What Riggs would do with that shoulder. You can eat your dog biscuits with that shot, man. Come on, Riggs. You know, come on. Lord, I know they see this. Look, press, they had to see that on tape. They had to. And we need to have the type of players to call him out in the film room like, dog, come on, man. What were you thinking, man? You know, you the leader.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
They need to get the soap and put it in the sock, cut off the lights, put water all over the floor. And when he comes in, he think he's finna take a shower, and that need to be a beat down. You know what I'm saying? And he don't know who did it. All he need to know is waking up like, hey, man, y'all done put soap in the sock and put water on the floor, man, and beat me down for the type of stuff, man. Come on, man. Yes, indeed. So the linebacker is the heart and soul of the team, the Mic Linebacker. He is the guy that the quarterback must identify for gap integrity, for leverage of the field. All quarterbacks read from high to low, but they must identify the mic. Either your center identifies the mic and relay it over to the quarterback, or somebody on their front 5 identifies the mic. And they say, okay, based off of leverage, whether it's field side, weak side, we're going to make sure that either we isolate and attack the mic, or we evade and alleviate and persuade or pursue away from the mic. So what teams are going to do now is, shoot, if he's the mic, we can identify, hey, y'all, boy, that murder can need some attention over here. You know what I'm saying? So that mic right there needs some attention right there. That's the weak link. There you go right there. Yes, indeed. Let's attack him. Little man down low. You know, that's just what it is. So does Jalen Smith make the play? I think that there was a play, I want to say, was it 2017? The Dallas Cowboys played against the 49ers. I think it was 2017. And Jalen Smith had a clear shot. Just like that. I want you guys to go back. I know it was way back, 2017, before, you know, all of the other stuff happened. And he decapitated that running back. I think that at that moment, when Jalen Smith made that hit, we won that game. In that moment, I'm just saying, if LVE would have just the running back, that would have changed the momentum of the game. To be fair to LVE, that first big run, I don't have the clip right now, but you guys just trust and take my word for it. If Parsons would have done the exact same thing to Josh Dobbs on that very first play that he took that read option and act like he was giving it to the running back and kept it himself, and if Michael Parsons would have just Josh Dobbs, it would have changed. The coaching staff would have said, you know what, that's Parsons right there, man. Which one of y'all hit him? You know what I'm saying? Look, we're gonna have to take that playbook out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to. They would never did any RPOs, read options. The quarterback himself would have grew hair back. Facial hair would have grew. Eyebrows would have grew on his face. Right? He would have been saying, "Mama, Daddy, look, I got some Rogaine on me. I got more facial hair than Law Nation right about now." But we was just too nice. Shoot, I think somewhere Josh Dobbs still running, you know? Come on, man. So it is what it is. Trade for Brian Cushing. Nah. But those plays, man, think about this. If they put a tight end on D-Law, the Jets, when they try to run with Breece Hall, or I think it was Dalvin Cooks, and when D-Law made that initial hit, it changed the entire game plan around for the Jets. The Jets said, man, we can't run it. We ain't going to run it no more, man. Y'all see what they done did? I promise you, it would have been that situation. Il Machine says Parsons need to get off the podcast. Here's my thing, though. He's doing it on his leisure time. Parsons works out really hard. And I'm not finna throw any salt or shade at Parsons. I just think that for right now, the optics just look crazy because we lost, right? And the optics is, hey, he's new, not new media, but he's giving new fans ways to enjoy. I don't foresee anybody who was born in the 60s and the 70s enjoying that. You know what I'm saying? To be real, if you're born in the 60s and the 70s, even early 80s, and you enjoying that, then let me know. No cap now, no cap. If you enjoying hearing your star-studded player on a podcast for an hour or 30 minutes to an hour talking about not X's and O's, but like, hey, just what's going on, the updates of what's going on with teams, showing them love, giving them flowers, you know, and stuff like that. Let me know if you like that. You know, you could be, you know. And he's not biased. You know, Lisa says she loves it. You know, Parsons not biased and she loves it. So, you know, I guess different strokes, you know. So, hey, I'm not saying that he shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying the optics of it because I ain't going to cap. Shoot. Parsons hit me up and say, hey, Law, every Monday night or every Tuesday night, I'm jumping on your show. You think I'm going to be like, shoot, no, Parsons, you know what I'm saying? I need for you to focus on the game. You know, right now, I'm the captain, Parsons. You know, no, I ain't going to lie to kick it to y'all. No. Bleacher Report is like, yes. And Law, shut up. We ain't going to invite you back on the Bleacher Report no more. You hurting our business. You know. Shoot, you think? Shoot, Parsons called me up right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be playing this button.
Let's go, man.
Let's go, man.
Let's go. He ain't lying.
Parsons, man, what's good? We got Parsons
We
live on
about
show.
that life.
Yes, indeed. Let's go, man. Hey, low key, Parsons, you can hook a brother up, you know, instead of Bleacher Report already got millions of dollars, man. Let's do it for the low end folks, the common folks down here. Hey, y'all players, man. Y'all jump on these shows over here to get it out of the mud. Come on, y'all. All right. Enough of that, man. Action Jack said, hey, Parsons cool with me. Yes, indeed. Shoot. But neither here nor there.
Get your damn act together.
All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Parsons, I got a chance to talk to his trainer, and I want to give you guys an early preview of it. Well, I'm gonna play the full clip. It's pretty long, but I want to be able to let y'all know that we're doing some things in the community, and we are trying to grow the network, and I'm trying to expound and do more and more things. And we got Duro on a podcast. You know, I think that brother, man, he got some unbelievable bars. Ice Cream Paint Job, I know it came out many a moons ago, but they're about to do a relaunch of it, and I don't want to get into details of everything, but I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a great thing. Also, with what we're doing with new media sides of things, is that we grassroots people. So we're going to work this out now, and then eventually later down the line, y'all, hey, it's going to be one of those things that we all look back on and say, hey, man, I'm rolling with Law Nation, man, when he had like 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers now. You know, man, now I got him, man, he got 5 million, you know. It's going to be one of those things. I was there when he you know, bought that first Aston Martin, you know. Yes, indeed. Keep Ray Boom Boom Room this thing up, man. And let's go. Let's listen to this right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is T-Mac. And then we got a fight this weekend, of course, and we're going to talk about that. He's a hell of a boxer, man, and he's a professional boxer. And he's going to give it the storyline of boxing. So if you love boxing, let me know about that. And then, okay. With the Ice Cream Paint Job, you know, I might be here on the next show. You know, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Y'all stick around and stay tuned.
We got another episode brought to you by Law Nation Sports. I got my guy, T-Mac, the elite guy over here, man. Talk to me, man. How you been doing, bro?
I'm beyond blessed. I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed that you have me on this. You have me on the show. It's gonna be amazing, man.
It's gonna be amazing, man.
Thank you.
So with that being said, bro, I've been hearing a lot of noise of you in this Dallas area, working with a lot of good things, man. Tell me about the projects that you got going on so far.
My number one project, you know, I'm a gym owner.
Okay.
I'm a retired fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I love working with my fighters.
Okay.
I love being a gym owner. I love training my clients, and I also enjoy training elite athletes.
Okay.
Say, for instance, I train Amari Cooper.
Oh, wow.
Train Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
Stephon Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Jackson Sr. from Seattle. Dwayne Estridge. And, you know,
Those are good household names there.
Yes, sir.
So let's do a moonwalk back
okay.
into where all of this started. Your career, you, Tony Mack, the person. What made you get into this sport, into this avenue?
Boxing found me. I didn't find boxing.
Okay.
I graduated high school, went to Collin County
Okay.
College,
Okay.
and didn't know what direction I was going to go in life.
Okay.
So I was living with my aunt, and I didn't want to live with my aunt in college. So I ended up going to Century Court Apartments, where's the Collin County College campus.
Okay.
And I asked if I could get a job there. So I picked up trash for a living and kept the apartments furnished for free rent.
Oh, wow.
Humble
beginnings.
Yeah,
So
humble.
you started off from there.
Yep.
And then you prepare yourself to, I remember looking back at your resume, you know, and you said you started at a later age
100%.
doing this, right?
Yeah.
So when we look into all of that, I tell people it's not when you start, it's how you finish. And
100%.
then all of this too, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter, and your determination and your mindset. I got this mindset, I tell people all the time, bro.
Yeah.
PhD. Poor, hungry, and determined. I'm gonna make sure I can get things going one way or another.
100%.
And reading back at your storyline, starting off late, you still made it, bro. Can you break that process down for everybody?
Yeah, so like when I was cleaning the trash up, I ended up meeting a guy. I had to keep his apartments furnished. And I was like, yo, he was in shape. I was like, yo, what do you do, man? He was like, yo, I box. So we end up becoming friends, getting cool. And then he was like, yo, he saw me working out in the gym one day. He said, "Yo, if you want a real workout, come to the gym with me." And it ended up being a boxing gym, a hole in the wall boxing gym with hardcore Mexicans in there going hard. And
Right.
man, I did the workout, man, and got my ass kicked.
Hey,
And when it came to
Uh-huh.
the workouts and the training, man, I almost died, but I ended up working with the coach, and the coach was like, "Hey, man, you might could be a good boxer if you keep this up." And by the coach speaking life into me like that, I was like, "Really? You think I could box?" So I just kept showing up to the gym, and then 3 months later, I had my first fight at the age 20 years old. So most people start boxing when they're 8, even in early teens. But I started boxing at the age of 20.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and then 3 years later, man, I just kept boxing, kept winning, kept losing, but I just kept getting better as an amateur. Then 3 years later, man, I just made the USA team, and I just stayed consistent, man. It's a long story to get to that level, but I made the USA team. I ranked number 3 in the nation at the age of 24, 25 years old, and then turned pro at 27.
Oh, wow.
And then when I turned pro, ended up becoming the Texas middleweight champion. 13-1-1. Derek James was my trainer. Earl Spence was my number 1 sparring partner. Me and him came up together. We was on a U.S. team together. Stuff like that, man. So, yeah, man, it's humble beginning. Man.
Humble beginnings. But what weight class that was in, bro?
When I first started boxing, I was like 215 coming from football. But then I ended up cutting it like as low as I got to like 160. 160 pounds, man. I fought as professional, as super middleweight and middleweight. Super middleweight was 168 pounds, and middleweight was 160 pounds.
Yeah, that's dope right there,
Yeah,
bro.
man, I got small.
You squeezed out.
Yeah,
That means you had all of that
I
strength
had all the strength.
reserved inside of you, man.
100%.
And now you're doing wonderful things for the community. You're doing wonderful things for the people. You know, a lot of times when we think about boxing in general, you know, is it more mental? Is it more physical? Can you break down that component of it? Because I think it's physicality, but I can see the mental process of it.
My perspective,
Okay.
80% mental, 20% physical.
Okay.
Man, you get punched in the mouth, you could be the strongest dude ever. They want to quit. Man, you get in boxing, man, you have to be willing to run through a brick wall to be successful.
Okay.
You can play football, you can play basketball, but you can't play boxing.
Okay.
You can get hurt in boxing. If you're mentally not strong enough, you won't make it in boxing. Of course, you have to be. Of course, you have the physical aspect. Got to be there. You got to be in the best shape of your life to be able to go rounds after rounds in order to take a punch. Because your body got to be conditioned to take punches. And no matter how good you are, you're gonna get hit. Mayweather got hit, or you know, but it's mental, man. Boxing is more mental. It's a chess match.
Can you take the hit? Can you recover when you take that hit, right?
100%.
And then can you set up and do all of the discipline aspect of it from defensive stance, right? So boxing, you got to compile all of that together.
Put it all together.
Oh my goodness.
The name of the game is to hit, not get hit. The name of the game is to hit, not get hit.
Hit and not get hit.
That's the name of boxing.
And to know you're going to get hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta pick your reactions gotta be up. Your head movement gotta be on point.
Okay.
Hands gotta be back. So you gotta put all these elements into one factor.
Okay.
You gotta be in condition. You gotta be you gotta be in punch condition.
Right.
Your core gotta be tight. Your thinking gotta be on point. You gotta outthink the next man. And you gotta make sure you move your head while you punching. So it's all these, it's like baking a cake. All these ingredients make a beautiful cake.
Okay.
And everything gotta come together at once, or you're gonna get hurt.
So the reason why I asked you all of that, you know, because you said earlier you worked with Amari Cooper. You worked with Michael Parsons,
And
Brandon.
you mentioned Michael. I was gonna get to Michael. I was like, you're the best.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Michael, yeah, you know.
Break that
Yeah,
down.
man.
So I seen you with Michael Parsons. That's what it was. Hey,
So
with that
they
being
all-
said, break that storyline
they all,
down, how that came about.
They all elite.
Okay.
Man, Amari Cooper, man, he's like one of the coolest dudes I ever met. One of the best wide receivers in the game. Shout out to Amari Cooper. He's one of my sponsors, by the way, Route Runner. Great guy. But man, he was training with me for about 6 months, and then he kept telling me one day I'm gonna bring Micah in. One day I'm gonna bring Micah in, and then on my birthday,
wow.
I was chilling, and then Coop hit me up like, "Yo, me and Michael about to come to the gym." I was like, oh, I stopped. I was eating breakfast. I stopped what I was doing. Ran to the gym, and we got to work. And then Micah, he loved what I brought to the table. And then on my birthday, like at my gym, on your birthday, we got to do birthday burpees. And I just turned 38, so I was like, all right, man. Everybody was like, Tony, it's your birthday. You make everybody else do birthday burpees. You got to do your 38 birthday burpees. Michael was like, I'm doing with you then. Ever since then, man, we got mad cool after that, and we've been consistent with training ever since then. And he's just just a freak of nature, man. He's a legit dude.
Legit dude. So it follows the line of what he's doing, even on his defensive player of the year run. Even though it's only been 2 games since we've talking about this now. We talked about core, we talked about strength, we talking about techniques and things of that nature. Those are things, ingredients that you put upon his skill set now. That's just an extra token that he can have in his back pocket now to pull out during games. Hand placement, disengagement, playing half body or full body, getting upfield, shooting through things. Did you foresee that when you started working with Parsons and some of the other football players around these parts?
Man, overall goal, man, I didn't want to really I just wanted to teach them how to box, how to really box. I wanted to train them like they're getting ready for a world title fight.
Okay.
I didn't want to try to be something I'm not.
Right.
I just wanted to implement traditional, intense boxing.
Okay.
Everything that I learned from being on the U.S. team, everything I learned from training with Derrick James, training with my coach.
Right.
And I just put that all into them. I was like, look, I'm gonna teach y'all. Y'all, like I mentioned before, you can play football, you can play basketball, but you can't play boxing. I'm gonna actually train y'all like you're getting ready for a fight. I'm gonna throw real punches at y'all. I'm gonna teach you how to move your head. I'm gonna teach you how to catch punches mid-air. I'm gonna teach you how to slip, roll, pivot. But you drop your hands, it's your fault. Okay. And I had them get in the ring with my fighters, and they working defense only. I'm like, look, if you get hit, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
And I let my fighters work with him. And Micah, he loved the defense aspect that are going to teach him how to catch punches mid-air.
Okay.
Like real live action punches coming at you. And he's catching them mid-air, catching them. And I'm teaching him how to counter punch, catch and counter, shoot, catch and shoot, catch and shoot. And then I have him throw punches at my fighters. My fighters working defense. They're like, yo, can I hit him? Like, yo, this is his professional. If this is his profession, if he get hit, it's his fault. So tee off on him. And so they love that aspect of him. And I don't take it easy on them. I'm like, look, this is what we're here for. We're here to work. I came here to box. I'm going to teach you how to box the right way. Everything that I know, up to all the knowledge I have, damn near 20 years of knowledge, I'm giving it to these guys.
And you pour it upon him.
Into them.
Okay.
And not only that, but Mark Cooper, he got in there and sparred with a real fighter one time. Like,
how did he do?
He did good. He did good. It was a real fighter. The first round, he dominated. Then he was like, I'm ready to get out. I was like, nah, homie. That was your first round. You got to do one more round. He was like, I was like, nah, you ain't finna go in there and have that false perception that you did good. Like, no, you got one more round. So he went in there. The dude kind of got a little best of him. But then afterwards, when he got done, Cooper's like, yo, I'm so glad that you made me stay because when he tested that conditioner really kicked in because he was ready to get out after that first round because he got winded. He's like, I can see the condition. You got to be in the best shape of your life for this. He's like, you can't play this stuff. So he's like, man, he thanked me for pushing him and not being a yes man. Like, nah, you good. You come out. He's like, nah. I'm like, nah. You wanted to get in there with these fighters. You get in there and work.
You get in there. You gonna get there work.
And he went in there and he did it. I was afraid, like, please don't get hurt. I was like, oh, nobody coming at me. But he wanted to do some real sparring. His goal was to get in there and spar a real fighter. And normally when you in there, he sparred before, but when you in there with a teammate, somebody you train with, y'all don't go as hard. But when another GM comes, you gotta show your dominance. You gotta like, all right, you can't come to my house and try to outwork me. I was like, so I told him, I said, look, this is another GM. I said, these guys don't know you, they don't respect you, they know of you, but no, they came to get some work. And so Mark was like, I'm with it, let's work. And so he went in there and did his thing. And yeah, man.
So that's the difference of being good, average, above average, and now you're talking elite, right? Man, you didn't train this man to be, hey, Amari Cooper, we want you to be average. We want you to be above average. No, you training that guy to be elite. So regardless of who he up against, he's going to have that mindset that I got to give elite performance. I got to bring that to the table because this is what my trainer is exhibiting and exuding. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all hear it. This dude is going to train you the right and proper way. It goes back, man. May he rest in peace, the mama. You know what I'm saying? Kobe. There was a quick documentary or a short series of he didn't even allow his daughter to beat him, right? Because he made sure that he gave her all, you know what I'm saying, of his work ethics, everything. So when I'm hearing you, I see the same thing. You're not going to halfway do this. If you get in the ring, I'm going to give you elite.
I'm gonna give you everything I got.
I got everything.
And that's why I'm successful in the membership business, because I train my clients like they're real fighters. I teach my clients the true principles of boxing. I teach my clients the how and the why of boxing. I do the same thing with my elite athletes. I do the same thing with my fighters. Like, look, I'm gonna show you everything that I know, and I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna be patient with you until you get it. I let them know boxing is tough, one of the hardest sports ever, but if you stick with it and stay consistent and stick through the tough times and be willing to look foolish for a couple of weeks and a couple of months until you get the technique down pat, you will be successful. The ones who quit, the ones that never get to that level, but consistency is key, and if you stick with it, you will be okay when it comes to boxing. It's not a one-time thing. You gotta be consistent with this thing. You gotta be on point with it.
Consistency.
Your timing and everything gotta be on point. It gotta be good, man.
You guys here, like I always say, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And you delivering the results, bro. Talk to me about this, though. Who is the greatest boxer of all time, from your perspective?
My perspective.
Yeah.
I honestly respect Muhammad Ali, but I never did study him.
Okay.
I never did really watch him. I had two great fighters that I really studied. Three great fighters that I studied when I was coming up. It was Sergio Martinez was one.
Okay.
The reason why I studied Sergio Martinez is because he started boxing at the age of 20, just like me.
Okay.
And he became a real champion. He was a guy that he used to be cycling for. He was a professional cycler, like a bicycle rider. But he he discovered he wanted to start boxing at the age of 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
And once I found that, I just studied every little move he made. Every little move he made, and I just watched him, and he became a world champion. He fought some great fighters and did great. And then my second greatest is who I discovered along the way is Marvin Hagler.
Hagler, okay.
His mindset was amazing. It's every time before he had a fight, he had a war hat. He went to war. He wasn't the most technical. He was a dog. When it came to dog, he was willing to do whatever it takes to win. His training regimen, the things he did outside the ring.
Right.
What I mean by outside the ring is he went to bed on time. He ate right. He didn't party.
Okay.
He actually went to war. He actually got away from his family and sacrificed.
Sacrifice is everything.
Sacrificed. And he did everything he was supposed to do. He died through one of the greatest. And then his third favorite is, of course, Andre Ward.
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward is his mental aspect of boxing. He's a student of the game.
Okay.
He's a student. He loved boxing, man. He the only fighter that ever went undefeated ever in amateur. He lost one fight when he was 9 years old. He went undefeated all the way up to his pro career.
Oh, wow.
Never lost a fight since he was 9. His first fight only. And after that, he was an Olympic gold medalist, multiple time world champion. To beat the best, and Andre Ward is mental. He's one of the guys that teach fighters that, hey, if your coach gotta make you go run, if your coach your coach see you leaving the gym without you putting everything
your
coach got like, hey man, are you eating right? Your coach like, yo, you need the bag enough. He said you shouldn't be boxing. You shouldn't be doing it. Go find another sport, because he said when you get to a point in your boxing career, your coach gotta make you go home. Your coach gotta tell you like, nah man, you working too hard, man. Go to sleep. Go home, get some rest, man. Those are the fighters you want. Those are people you want to deal with, because those ones are going to be a world champion. The ones who's willing to run through a brick wall to be successful is the ones who are going to get to the next level. Sun up, sun down type. That's what I'm looking for, man.
That's dope, man. So we look at these guys that you're training all around the globe, basically. You're giving them a little piece of Ward. You're giving them a little piece of Hagler. You're giving them a little piece of Sergio.
Derek James,
all of them. Right.
Derek James is my boxing coach, trainer of the year.
Okay.
He was my coach as my professional.
Okay.
And I'm giving him what he taught me. But I don't take I take a little bit of what he taught me, but I make it my own. I make it my own. My coach Paul Vasquez, he's a Mexican coach when I was as an amateur. He got me to the Olympics. He taught me how to just be a dog. I had that Mexican style. Then when I got with Derek, as a professional, he taught me how to actually box.
Right.
And so I mixed in a little bit of both. And then when I got to the Olympic team, Barry Hunter, Sean Porter, now he was he worked with Sean Porter, worked with the Petersons.
Okay.
Lamont Anthony Peterson, Adrian Broner, Javante Davis, he worked with all them. He was my coach, and he taught me a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I worked with I was blessed enough to start boxing at a late age and train with elite fighters.
Man.
And I trained with elite coaches. I got so much knowledge from that within a small period of time. I get to pour all that into my current fighters, into my current members and my clients, into my current elite athletes, professional football players, basketball players. I work with Jason Maxill.
Yeah, they getting all of this.
They getting all of this, man. Yeah.
Yeah, this is flat out dope, man. And hey, we was having some conversations about a lot of people think that boxing is all up top, right? But it's more so with your lower body and the hips and everything. Before we go into our next conversation, Pete, break that down. That you fight and you punch more with your legs and your lower body versus
more power when you rotate your hips.
Hips.
If you stand up tall and your knees not bent, you don't have no power. Your knees gotta stay bent. That's how you generate more power. What's that saying? It's like I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm saying it wrong, forgive me. It's like physics, you know.
Okay.
Your knees is like lower center of gravity to the ground. You have more power. You generate more power.
Okay.
You shift your weight when you rotate your body. When you don't shift your weight, you arm punching.
Uh-huh.
If you shift your weight, say as I'm 205 pounds right now. If you shift your weight and your hips, you punch with all 205 pounds. Let's think something 205 pounds hitting you in the face.
Yeah.
That's all from the physics of punching. All about the rotation of your punching, turning your hips. It's not just arm punching because you ain't gonna do that. But if you turn your hips, the big ass legs. Sorry,
Yeah.
You good. Yeah, you turn your hips, you get more power. And then if you think you gotta load up on punches, those be the ones that don't get nobody. Won't hit you. But if you just stay relaxed and just turn your hips, just a little turn, that'd be the ones that you get more knockouts.
Hey,
and
you guys see it, man. That's mental focus. That's mental mindset. And then that's also because muscle memory, you know. So by you training guys like that, it goes on to the football field. It goes on to the baseball field. It goes on to the basketball courts. This is what my guy T-Mac is doing out here. And that's why it's elite performance. You know, it's not T-Mac average performance, you know, or above average. This is elite information that he's giving out, man. Look, we ain't gonna give out no more tips, man. Just go visit this guy at his facility in Senate. Where your facility located at, by the way?
It's in Allen, Texas. 109 North Greenville Avenue, Suite A, Allen, Texas. So if you're watching, you want to learn how to box, come take a boxing class with me. 8:30 a.m. We have an intro to boxing class every Saturday morning. Again, 8:30 a.m. intro to boxing class. Come take a class with us. We got complimentary gloves, complimentary hand wraps for you. Just come take a boxing class. Learn how to box the right way.
The right way, the proper way. And I'm looking at this star right to the right of me right here, man.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Can y'all see that star right there, baby?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this though, for my guy T-Mac. Who are your top 3 Cowboy players of all time, or currently?
All time?
All time.
Of course, you know I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. You know,
Okay.
You gotta go with your Deions,
Okay. Prime time.
Emmitt Smith.
You
know, Michael Irvin.
Hey, I got the primes on right now. So you mentioned, hey, give me that thing music. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, baby. You know.
Parsons, of course, you know, I'm just a fan of his work ethic. He might look at me crazy when I tell him to do something, but he'll do it and do it with 100% effort. He go hard, and then when I say we done, he was like, "That's it." I'm like, "Hey, let's get some more. Let's get some more work." I'm like,
that line always hungry.
Like, all right. And you know, he might feel it in the moment, but
right.
Man, the dude don't quit. He's eager to learn. He's eager to get excited. He pick information up really quick. Cause like the first time we boxed, he I didn't say he struggled, but he didn't understand the boxing aspect of it. But then the next day he came in, like he picked it up.
Quick learner, man.
He picked it up. I was like, oh snap! And I was able to throw more things at him. I was like, all right, we can do this, we can do that. And I was like, let's try this combination. Let's try this combination. I was training like he was one of my fighters. And then I was like, all right, so I'm gonna throw real punches. I'm gonna show you how to catch punches midair. Do real punch. He was catching. He's like, yo, I need that. He was like, that's what I really want because that's getting the offensive hands up. He's like,
disengage.
So I just really got used to it. I really threw punches, like intense punches at him. I was trying to crack him. He picked it up. I counted by once. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I got the real.
He got mad at me when I didn't.
So he's him.
He got mad at me when I kind of pulled back. He was like, nah, homie. I throw it. I was like, all right, man. Jerry called me.
Jerry go. You might get that call from Jerry. But here's what I saw from Parsons. When Parsons year one, you know, he met up with Amari Cooper, and they played chess, and that's the mindset that he had because he wanted to beat Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper out there beat him down, and he put it all on the social media and everything. Let everybody know, rubbed it in on him and everything. But Parsons, the very next day, let's do it again. Let's go at it again. And eventually, of course, Parsons won. So that shows the mindset of Parsons. That shows that, hey, it's nothing impossible. I always like to say the Jim Rowan quote, when the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. That's what Parsons brings to the table. This dude always challenging someone. I think we could play tic-tac-toe. He gonna be like, hey, Law, let's go again. You know what I'm saying? Connect foe, whatever it is, that dude, he got that lion mentality that he want to fight anyone, you know, and beat anyone. And I like that, and I'm glad that you mentioned that about him, you know.
100%. That's one thing I really admire about him because he come to work, and then when I was like, all right, 10 o'clock. I was like, come 10 a.m. He was like, nah, man. He said, I'm trying to get used to getting up at 4. So he made me get up at 4 one time.
Wow.
Like I said, all right, let's be at the gym at 4:30, 5 o'clock. He's like, all right, I'm trying to get used to trying to force myself to get up early to get everything done. I was like, all right, I'm trying to sleep in, but you want it, let's go.
Let's get it.
I got up and we went to work, and you know, we stayed with that time, and I love people who challenge me.
Okay.
You know, I was blessed enough to have these guys to be in my life to be able to train these guys, to show how great of a trainer I could be.
Right.
Because it pulls out the greatness in me.
Okay.
You know, because these guys, they want more. Right. When I say when they want more understanding of boxing. They want to get pushed condition-wise. They want to get pushed to the next level. And it make me stretch out into my memory bank. It make me do my homework. It make me continue to study. It make me get better at what I'm doing for these guys.
Man,
that's legit,
man. That's dope, man. So, hey, we at the Tower Club right now, and we got a big event coming up on September the 30th. Can you explain to the people, explain to them what's going on that date and what you got going on?
Tower Club.
Salute to Tower Club, too.
Huge shout out to Tower Club for giving me the opportunity to promote my first professional boxing show. It's on the 48th floor.
Okay.
Overlooking the entire city of Dallas. You can see Fort Worth from here. It's professional fights, sanctioned professional fight. My main event is Greg Hardy, ex-Cowboy player, versus Greg Corbin, a well-known Dallas boxer. Over 300 people are going to be here. It's a black tie event, red carpet. You cannot overdress. I mean, I need you to overdress. I need you to show up and show out. I need you to come suited and booted. I need you on point. And, man, we're going to have some great undercard fighters with some up-and-coming future champions on the undercard.
Okay.
We got guys coming from all over the United States to be on our card. And it's going to be a fun night. It's going to be an amazing night. And, hey, Mack Elite Promotions born with Tower Club. They gave me the opportunity to get my first boxing promotion show. That's been one of my goals. I wanted to be a coach, wanted to be a trainer, wanted to be a gym owner. And I put on my goal list 5 years ago, have my boxing promotion. And now Mack Elite Promotions is born. The power of writing down your goals. It happens if you really put it down in action. And so now, September 30th, it starts 5 p.m. If you get the VIP tickets, 5 p.m. you get unlimited drinks.
Okay.
The VIP you get a meal, and then a fight start at 8. And that's when the action starts. And shout out to Amari Cooper. He's one of my main sponsors. Route Runner, not Amari Cooper. His business, Route Runner.
Yes, indeed. Works some routes too.
He got some of the dopest shoes. You can have. He got some gear and shirts, stuff for the females, but the shoes is the dopest shoes out there.
Oh yeah.
He paying homage to Michael Jordan.
Okay.
He took the Jordan idea but made it his own.
It's
pretty dope, man.
Man, that's a brilliant dude right there to do all of that.
He's a great dude, man. He's a businessman. Like, you know, me and him built the relationship, and we was on a Stairmaster working out with him. He was like, man, he said, my overall goal is to he said, I see what you're doing, how you got done boxing and you took it to business. He's like, that's what I'm doing now and that's what I want to do. And so I think he respected me with that aspect.
Okay.
I'm just not a boxer. I started a business and that's who he is. He's a businessman.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's why me and him kept a good relationship because he respected the business aspect of it. Because it's more than boxing. I'm more than a boxer.
Yeah.
He's more than a football player.
This life right now.
It's
Hey,
life.
he locked in now.
Yeah, we took what God gave us and turned it to something special.
Yeah.
Like boxing is the core, and we making multiple streams of income off the core. And football is his core. He's making streams of income off the core.
off of it, yeah. And Roll Tide, you know.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, Amari Cooper is that dude, and hey, appreciate him for sponsoring this your first big fight at Tower Club. So who's all on there again? You got Greg Hardy and
You got Greg Hardy versus Greg Corbin. The co-main event gonna be John Shipman versus Greg and Greg versus John and John.
Greg.
John Shipman, Jonathan Lee Rice.
It sound like a law firm, bro. I'm Law Nation, but hey, that sound like a law firm.
They are not. They are.
Greg
They are
and
some
Greg.
killers.
You know, they some killers right there. I love it.
In the
I
ring.
love it. In the ring.
Then we got some
Yeah.
up and coming fighters, man. I got a guy, Randall Canada. He's a
Okay.
2-0 man. He an amateur champion.
Oh wow.
Got some guys coming from Austin. I got Mike LaMelle. He's a Dallas fighter. And then we got Donald Ward coming from Memphis. He's a boxing warrior. He's like the gatekeeper in boxing.
Okay.
He got a really good record. He fought some great guys. And then I got some other heavyweights coming from San Antonio, man. They are, so it's gonna be a night of heavyweights.
Hey, so
Good-
what this
good
sound
night of fights.
like on September the 30th? Don't meet me there. Beat me here. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to come on out to the Tower Club.
Yep.
Hey, the information will be down below
Yep,
in the
and-
descriptions and everything else.
Follow me on Instagram because the Tower Club link for tickets is on my bio. Mack Elite Training. Instagram.
Let's go. Hey,
Let's get it.
everyone. Hey, we didn't have a good time at all. We had a great time out here, man. I got my guy right here, man. Hey, he got a strong grip right here. I'm gonna have to get into the boxing ring. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, man.
Gotta work, man.
Let's go. My name is Law Nation Sports, and I got my guy T-Mac, man. Let's go. DC for life, and everyone else that's listening. Let's go.
Thank you, man.
Salute.
The top boxers out here, people that really contributed a lot to the sport in Dallas.
Like, it's like, I mean, I'm gonna say, of course, Charles Hadley. He was the one that he started it out as an amateur, man. He was one of the boxing greats. When I first started boxing, everybody looked up to Charles Hadley. Everybody wanted to be like the Hadley brothers.
Right.
And Big Greg Hadley, he put all of the boxing on map, the black gloves and all that stuff. When I first started, man, I looked up to them so much. And then as I got older, Derek James, he was a good boxer in Dallas. Him and his brother Ahmad and Maurice James, they all is great Dallas boxers. Of course, Earl Spence, he put Dallas on the map. You go way back, Curtis Coates, one of the first world champions.
Oh wow.
Curtis Coates, from Dallas. Maurice Hooker, he's a world champion. Man, there's a lot of other coming fighters like I think out of Dallas, man, the Jordan and Josh Jenkins. I was training with, like, they was my little homies, and they was like 8-9 years old.
Wow.
Man, there's a lot of fighters in Fort Worth right now. Oh, I got Fort Worth. I got Desmond White. He's on my card. He's out of Fort Worth. Sammy Brown out of Fort Worth. He's on my card. Wow, I'm tripping. Why am I not thinking of these guys? They on my card. He's out of the Fort Worth fighters, man, up and coming, undefeated fighters. Man, Dallas is growing, man, in the Dallas circuit, man, and of course myself. I helped with Dallas.
I hold it down for it.
I made the USA team. A lot of people didn't. My style was a little ugly because I had to start at I started a football player, working my way to the top, but I got better. I just kept getting better and became the Texas middleweight champion, man. And I showed boxers. I think I showed boxers that boxing is more than boxing. You could turn your boxing into a business.
Yeah.
I showed a lot of up-and-coming fighters that you could teach boxing. You could own your own gym. You could be an entrepreneur of boxing. I think that's what I that's what I'm creating in Dallas. Everybody, some coaches, some people had that old mindset that you gotta continue to have a because boxing is a poor man's sport. And I don't want to say that everybody had a poor mind mentality.
Right.
But you could actually make a decent living if you go by it the right way.
Right.
You know, most people think you got to charge for free, that you got to have a hole in the wall gym, or you got to struggle to be successful in boxing. No, you can actually turn this into a legit business, man.
Yeah. But like you said, it covers everything.
It covers everything.
It covers everything, health, mentally,
Yeah.
you know. And then the mindset of boxing itself, even what Les Brown said, you know, a prize fighter, even on his way down, he continued to swing. Because he knows that all it takes is one punch.
Yep.
Right? And that can be the deciding factor, right? And we've seen storylines of boxers there. Oh man, he had me, but you know, I continue to fight through it basically. So that fighter's mentality, you can apply it to math, reading, writing. You can apply it to like what I said about my story, if I continue to apply, you know, you got to have that mindset. And you're right, bro. It's one of the better businesses to be in, basically. Because all sports, it's not a man on this planet who didn't think about fighting somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, and who need to know how to fight.
Yep.
You know.
It just
Technically.
and not only fight, it's just mentally, it's just build your confidence up.
Yeah.
You just know how to fight, and then the disciplines that boxing teach you.
Yeah.
That's what carry over to business. That what carried over in life. For me, it's the disciplines. And you don't got to be a tough guy. When you're a boxer, you know you can fight. You can walk around with a smile on your face. You can be respectful to everybody because you don't need to be an asshole because you know how to fight. And those be the ones, and nobody want to fight you. They know you box. They gonna kill you.
These hands are registered.
But but at the same time, if you need to protect yourself, you know you got that, but you're not gonna show it. Most people are like, yo, you too nice to be boxing. You too happy to be boxing, because boxing help you channel everything you've been through in life, and now teach you how to keep it disciplined, keep it tight, keep it on point, and to where you don't need to boast and brag that you know how to fight and stuff like that. So it's just a lot of disciplines that boxing teach you, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that puncher's chance. You know?
Yeah.
We seen that big old burly guy come in there trying to fight the little man, and that chin wide open.
Yep.
And he just takes his time, give him a rib chop, then hit him with the uppercut. Hey, you already know.
100%.
That's why I say boxing is around us all, man.
What advice would you give to Spence after his last fight? And then also who you got in Canelo Charlo coming up. That's some more Texas fighters right there in the mix.
I didn't even think about that.
Biggest fights of the decade.
I personally know Earl Spence. He was one of my sparring partners. I just know he's a dog, man. I just know he could conquer anything he wants because his mindset is very strong. There's no advice me to give him. It's just that just get back to the game plan. Just get back to what got you there. You know, just tweak a few little things, whatever you need to tweak, whatever went wrong your last fight camp, just don't do it no more. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you need to tweak something, you did something different, but I wasn't there, so I don't know. I don't have advice for it. I just want to say just get back to what got you to where you are. And just stay focused, stay consistent, because that's what true champions do. They come back. That's what's going to make you a greater fighter if you come back and dominate. So just stay on your shit. Stay on consistent. Stay on the game plan. Of course, you got knocked down, but I know you personally. You're going to get back up and fight your ass off. You're going to tweak what you need to tweak, and you're going to do what you need to do, and it's going to be a very successful night. And if it's not, you're going to still keep fighting because I know who you are. And so there's no advice, man. Just stay on, just stay focused, man. Just stay on what you've been doing. Derrick James, man, that's, I'm going with Charlo because Derrick James trained Charlo.
Yeah.
And I think Derrick James is going to have a game plan because Derrick James got something to prove. He's not the champion of the trainer of the year for no reason. He's coming back 10 times stronger. He's gonna come with a beautiful game plan against Canelo, and he gonna win. I love Canelo. I want to see Canelo win, just not this fight. I gotta see. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't personally know Charlo,
Right.
but I personally know Derrick James. And I
Derrick
want
James.
Derrick James to be successful. That's it.
That's dope. Hey, man.
Yep.
Hey, like I said, that punches chance. And, hey, I know it's movies, but
Yeah.
I sit there and watch that Creed, you know, and the lady was like, hey, you know, you need to not get back in that ring.
Yeah.
But one of the most compelling parts of the movie, he said, if I don't do this, I have nothing. I'm paraphrasing, you know. I don't know the exact line,
Yeah,
but
I got
basically, that was his life. And you know how you have an itch and you just got to get out there to scratch it. And the last known memory of you don't want to be laid out on the ground. I call it like Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure, and that's probably what Spencer is saying. And then who knows? It could be in one of those rounds. He said, damn, I got him, you know. But to the outside world, hey man, it didn't look good for you, bro. Hey, throw the towel in. Hey, you don't have it mentally. You don't have it X, Y, Z physically. But in his mind, he might have seen something. He might have heard something when he hit him a certain way, you know?
Yeah.
So all of that, I contextualize it to life. And if he want to get back in that ring and represent his family, his name, because like what my guy said on the wire, Marlo, he said, my name is my name. So, hey, he got his name out
Greatest
there. So,
show ever.
yeah, one of the greatest shows ever. So, get out there, make it happen.
I said last question, but one last question. You talked a lot about like mindset, the personal growth, development. When a fighter does go through a loss like that, what are they battling mentally? And what not just him, but you know, any fighter, like what do they have to overcome mentally?
That's dope.
It's a good question. Man, let me think. Man, you have to, like I said, get back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Tweak a few things, because if you've never been hurt, never been knocked down, and you get dropped with a shot, it's gonna mentally mess you up. It's gonna mentally mess you up and jack you up. But the great ones figure out something.
Yeah.
The great ones tweak something. The great ones change up the training regimen. The great ones stop eating certain foods. The great ones go to sleep a little early. The great ones pick up the run a little bit. The great ones read some extra books to make sure their mental game is on point, man. The great ones do what they do not like doing to be successful. You know what I mean? You got to do the things that you hate to get back to where you want to be in life. And so it's going to hurt. Of course it's going to hurt if you get dropped, if you get beat up real bad, but you got to have a hunger within you that is not going to stop you from getting to where you want to be. You got to be willing to run through a brick wall to get back to where you need to be. And only you can believe it, and nobody else will believe until you believe in you. And so only you could believe it, and you got to know the inner strength you have. You can't let nobody stop you. You can't let the naysayers get to you. You can't let your friends, your family, your wife say you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to stick to your own dream. You got to stick to your goal, and just keep fighting, man. This is what boxing is all about, man. It's just keep going. That's what makes boxing the greatest sport ever, because it's only you versus somebody versus another man. Your heart versus his heart. Your will versus his will. Your power versus his power is why they call boxing the chamber of truth, because it tells the truth through sacrifice in the ring. Who done what they're supposed to do outside the ring? Who went to sleep on time? Who ate right? You just gotta you just gotta tweak a few things if you take an L, and it's not even a loss. It's a learning situation. You're learning from that. Learn from what you did wrong. Hopefully you have a great coach that can make some great adjustments, and you just got to take more risk. That's what it's about, man. Take more risk and do what's right.
Yes, indeed.
It's just a lot you can do. It's a lot.
It's like the old adage,
if you fall off the horse, make sure you try to get back on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's all I can say.
quickly, you
Ain't
know.
nothing to it, because most people,
Yeah.
the thing with most people
Uh-huh.
is something happen, they quit.
Right.
If something go wrong, they quit. They don't show
quit.
up. And what make ordinary people great is they have a certain level of determination that most people don't have. They have a certain level of discipline that most people don't have.
Right.
And they have a certain level of tenacity, or they have a certain level of that go-getter attitude that most people don't have.
Right.
And so you got to have that mindset that nothing's going to stop you. You got to be unbreakable, unshakable. You have to be mentally prepared to battle yourself, because your mind is yourself.
So in that ring, it's you versus
it's
you.
you versus you.
Yeah, right.
It's you versus you, man. So, bro, man, this boxing stuff is real, man, because it's you versus you. You are your biggest opponent, and once you look in the mirror and say, "Man, I can't do it no more," quit. If you doubt yourself just a little bit, of course there's gonna be a little doubt. But then if you have something back of your head, like, "Nah, homie, quit acting like a little," back of your own head.
Yeah, that's a
quit,
great.
Yeah, you know, quit. And you're like, "Oh, I could
Yeah.
do it." You gotta find something within you, but you just can't go half-ass at it. You gotta go 100% with it. So, I hope I answered your question. I went crazy with it. I'm sorry.
The answer is the answer right there.
He went into the deep end with the great stuff, man, because the great Bill Parcells said, once you thought about retirement, you'd already retired. And he's speaking from a football mindset, you know. So shoot, that could be the situation even in that boxing ring. So if he's not thinking of retirement, he want to get that one shot back at it, do it, you know. I got this saying, it's a long quote, but it is a great one. If there's one thing a man should always do, is mainly to himself stay true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they mean makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turn hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was brother, I will ride with brother, box with brother. The morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take the decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. No man should call him a friend, because they bend lies around the truth to meet their end. That's the truth right there, y'all.
Let's go, baby. I appreciate those who stuck by and watched this all the way to the end, baby. Yes, indeed. They said that prize fighter continued to swing even though he's down. And that's what we gonna do over here. I know this is not the same in the original music that all of you guys are willing to listen and hear about. But I'm gonna say to you guys that stood tall and stayed the entirety of the time and didn't hit that off button and didn't stop this thing, that this is just the beginning. We got more and more things that we gonna do. Whether you like it or not, Law Nation gonna continue to grind and shine. And baby, them doors are opening wide open. And if the door refused to open, I got some fists that I can knock down, some other opportunities as it relates to another door or a window or a chimney. Santa Claus ain't got nothing on me. Let's go, because I'm gonna figure it out, baby, one way or another. So yes, shout out to Tony Mack. And if you guys are in the Dallas area this weekend, there will be a fight. Greg Hardy, yeah, this is gonna be his first time boxing. I seen him get laid out like Family Guy in the other sport, what he was trying to do. But let's see if he can throw some hands. Cowboy Nation. So I saw you guys commenting about Kyle Pitts. I think that's a no-go story there, fam. I saw some people commenting about the opportunity of what this should be, like a trap game. There's no such thing as trap game. This is a game that we got to fit right on in and let New England Patriots know that we're coming. Cease everything. That should be the mindset and the mentality there. But I appreciate you guys so much, man, for tuning in and being part of this all together, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Delk. Appreciate your press. Appreciate you, Elizabeth. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Try to write this down if you can. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it. to work day and night for, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad, that you don't get tired and it makes you hold everything taut in cheap. If life itself seems to be empty, oh yes, indeed, it will seem that way. And useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it. If you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan, and to lose all terror of your mind. Oh, if you simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, or famish of the fame, and the sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, it dark and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty. You will get it. Appreciate y'all on this movement. New media, we coming. Cowboy Nation, we coming. Anybody that's in the way, move out the way. We ain't stopping, baby. I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Let's continue to grind to shine. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's go, man! Let's go!
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Hey.
We about that life!
Well, hey, let's be about it. Shout out to your Dallas Cowboy for life. Gina with the J and the G. Appreciate both of y'all. C-Los, A-L-O-R-D. Let's go. Let's get this thing. Let's get it. Let's find a way, one way or another. We'll be back live a little later on today with Ashley and as well as the Super Friends. Let's go. It ain't time to stop right now.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
Let's go, baby. Let's get on up out of here. Hey, y'all know how it goes. Hey, what my guy Shay Sharp said?
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had. I gave you everything.
It's an evil world we live in.
Come on, man.
Damn.
Let's go.
Give me my theme music.
Yeah, baby. We about one love, DC for life. Let's go. Hey, ho. Let's get it. Peace.